Welcome to the Tuckcast with a Splash of Bourbon, presented by Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service. Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service has 3 convenient locations to serve you. 3 Depot Street, Bryson City, 530 West Main Street, Silva, and our newest store, year-old, 110 Depot Street, Waynesville. Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service is your #1 stop prior and after your epic fly fishing adventure in western North Carolina. Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service proudly carries industry-leading brands such as Sims, Orvis, Corkers, Sage, Rio, Scientific Anglers, Hatch, Nautilus, Lamson, Fish Pond, Scott Fly Rods, Echo, Umpqua, Hairline, Nature Spirit, Peak, Norvise, plus a large selection of flies and streamers. Check out www.tuckflyshop.com for stream flow information, book a lesson or guided trip, or even shop for your favorite Tuckasegee Fly Shop gear. Follow the crew on Facebook at Tuckasegee Fly Shop, Instagram at Tuck Fly Shop, and on YouTube at Tuckasegee Fly Shop. Here in our Silva shop this morning, we have Bobby, the Bearded Wonder Bennet, Del Diesel Collins, Justin, the Grill Master Pilot, and Shannon, Big Mess Messer.
Where's Shannon and what'd you do with him?
He tried to go monster truck
what
rally
was
there. He tried to go monster truck rally.
It was the grand finale, baby. Whoa, we're going to end 2022, baby. It's 2022. I had to actually, slow down.
Did you drink some Red Bull this morning?
No. Could be the medication.
He slept well.
I did.
See?
I have been sleeping well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change pillows.
Clear conscience.
Yeah.
Can't lose.
Clear eyes, full hearts. Can't lose.
That's right, man.
Yeah, is that right?
I tell you, man, this year is almost in the books, baby.
Yeah, we're what?
2
2.5 weeks from 23.
Yeah. Crazy.
2023.
Hard to believe it's gone by that quick.
Yeah.
Quick as a bad hiccup.
Is there a bad hiccup?
You never had a bad hiccup, man? At 2
Never
in the
had a-
morning or something? You ever wake up with hiccups? That's a bad hiccup.
Never
I think
had
that means your flap ain't working.
I know.
I've had it where you
Ain't
get
got
like
no
that hiccup, like the heartburn, and it's like, oh man, it burns like
tell
crazy.
you.
That's terrible at 2 a.m.
Whew.
Yeah. It's
You
like,
ain't got to tell me nothing.
yep.
Better to
And
burp
then you-
it and taste it than fart it and waste it.
And then you
I
can't
don't-
get rid of it. Though.
I ain't heard that in like 20 years.
You ain't around the Messer household enough, man, because that's...
I ain't heard that since I was in 5th grade.
Oh, man.
I say it daily at my house.
It's kind of separated. Oh man, no, seriously though, it has. It's hard to believe though, guys, that we're at kind of coming to the end of the 2022. 23 is around the corner. It just seems like yesterday we were saying 2020.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
My gosh, it has gone by.
Yeah.
A lot of changes, a lot of positive growth.
I feel like the pandemic sped everything up.
I think it's a good way to look at
I
it.
got a little
Yeah.
older too. That happens.
All my hair fell out. Ain't got no hair.
Oh, my hair fell out
Oh,
this
your
year.
hair fell out.
No, it fell out like 5 years ago. I can't even
I
say
hadn't
it.
said that in 12 years.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh man,
Shannon, turn me up over there. Don't
Like-
turn me on. Just turn me up.
like your ears.
Something. There we
You
go.
little
Is that
quiet.
better?
Yeah, that's good. Thank
Okay. Yeah. Turn up your headset because the levels are fantastic.
You're getting older. You're losing your hearing too.
Need a miracle ear.
What?
They still make those, the miracle
Yeah. Oh,
ears.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Those things are brilliant.
The other one that had the commercial, where the guy was doing something outside, and his wife in the kitchen could hear whatever he was doing 40 feet away. I was like, man, I've never been able to hear anything close to that in my life, let alone with a miracle ear.
Yeah.
These old commercials.
You using Walker game ears, Dale?
What?
The Walker game ears? You may need to.
When I hunt?
Yeah.
No, I use AirPods.
Okay.
Yeah, I put them AirPods.
Walker game, it helps you
No.
hear
AirPod
stuff walking in.
So it actually does.
I ain't gonna see no deer. I'm gonna watch this football game. Like YouTube TV right here.
Oh my gosh. No, it's
Watching the World Cup.
It's not a plug, but they came out in the early 2000s with hearing protection but also it increased your hearing. So there was a way that it could suppress the decibel level of the gunfire.
Yeah.
But you could also, I mean, you could pick up sounds.
Yeah.
Like no tomorrow. I was curious if you or Emery.
I've had the same effect with the AirPod Pros, where you
Gotcha.
can actually the squirrels just sound a little louder.
Yeah, I mean, you can pick up
crunching
yeah.
through the leaves. Sound
Yeah.
like it's just that much bigger.
Yeah.
No, I was actually thinking you're talking about getting older. I was thinking about when I was little. You know, you crawl up on your grandpa's lap and you look at his ear and you're like, "Dang, that's a lot of hair." I was looking in the mirror the other day. Damn it! I've got hair coming out of my ears.
There
You
you
gotta
go.
go get you that. What's that little tool that like?
Yeah,
One little blade, but it's like a
I got one.
little razor thing. Yeah.
Hey.
You gotta get you one, Dale.
Thanks, Dad.
Did you ask for Christmas? Get you one of those?
We'll have to.
No, it's just going to be what it is.
Oh Lord,
Listen,
he's gonna be tying flies out of his ear hair.
Got them old bushy ears.
listen.
Dale's ear nip.
Y'all see what I'm working with here. I'm happy to have any hair I got.
Are you gonna take a comb over from your ear hair? Flip it all the way over.
That's nasty.
Oh man.
Get that wax. Oop.
That's just pomade. That earwax turns into that hair gel.
I'm done. I quit.
Oh Lord.
Well,
my
so like for the
goodness.
last minute and a half, I was sitting here debating whether or not to share that story. It was just like, do I say it? Do I not? Yep, I did.
You did.
Turn the filter off. Just say what you.
That's
know.
it. No bourbon needed, folks.
That's hilarious.
We need some of that breakfast bourbon. I'm still on that.
The breakfast bourbon.
Yep.
What's that one? Just
We just
any
put
bourbon?
bourbon and coffee.
Well, speaking of bourbon, big thank you to Mike Hamilton. We received some Buffalo Trace and Eagle Rare, some special stuff from a special guy. So
And Fred.
Fred,
Ennis.
we got the Christmas sweater glasses with that one.
Yeah.
We'll break those out this morning.
That's it.
So
We've actually had that stuff for a few weeks. We just haven't said anything
thank
on
you,
the podcast.
thank you,
but-
gents, and best to everyone there.
Absolutely. Well, this is just kind of a year-end review, so it's just us talking about the year, what we've seen, products, fish. Justin got a new truck, anything like that. So Dale shot a deer.
Finally,
It's a real hat over there now. It's got blood on it.
That's it. That's
a real
He's got a hat
He's
with
got
a little speck
blood
of blood.
It's got blood on it.
you know you're really a Sitka guy when you're wearing a Sitka hat and you're like, oh, I hope I don't get any blood on my Sitka hat. This is $100 hat.
Oh man.
That's when you know you're wearing the right camo.
No.
Whereas like the Mossy Oak guy is like,
It's like painting it on.
A rite of passage just to get it nasty.
I got some deer hair stuck in my hat.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So I was just going to start us off, and you guys are probably going to be like, Bobby, you're doing it to me again. You didn't give me time to think about it. But
Go Bobby.
Go.
Go Bobby.
You're,
Go Bobby.
your best favorite, whatever you want to call it, fish of the year. So who wants to go first?
Oh Lord.
Come on, there's got to be
I'll
one
go
that
first.
sticks
I'll go
out.
first. I'll go
Go Dale.
All right.
You going to set the scene?
Oh,
It was
man.
June
I don't know.
12th,
It's
82
like-
degrees.
Yeah, like the
32%
fog was rolling over the
humidity.
water.
The barometric pressure was a negative 40.
So it was August 15th. I don't know.
That might be about right.
Might be about right. But we were up in Montana, and I had my tail whipped, absolutely just beat down by Steve, who broke my casting down, and I was ready to cry. But we worked through a lot of problems,
Yeah.
And here in our area, we cast, and we've maybe talked about this amongst ourselves, I know, but we cast the way the environment allows us to cast.
Mm-hmm.
We got rhododendron all around us, or trees, or whatever. So we don't have these like perfect, beautiful, like mechanized movements. Sometimes we're like Forrest Gump, and it was riding sideways, upways. Sometimes it even rained up from the ground. Like that's kind of how our casting is. So we're like waving the rod in front of our face, trying to cast. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, somebody's
To
here.
be continued.
How can I help you? TBD.
To be continued. So anyway,
I'll talk about mine.
all right, go ahead. I was
Sorry,
gonna
Dale got
jump right
interrupted.
on
Again,
there.
we're open at the
we
shop,
are
so-
open. Yes, we love being interrupted by consumers. we
it's
love
a quick one. He's coming back.
Oh.
Oh,
No more deer blood hat.
No more deer blood hat.
it's a local. Watch, it's not going
Uh-oh.
to fit his head. It's
Somebody-
not going to fit his head.
They
right?
gotta-
It ain't gonna fit that melon head.
It fits. He's got him a local high school Smoky Mountain Mustangs hat.
That's right.
And it's Nike. It's legit.
It's too legit.
Too legit to quit.
Hi.
That's fantastic.
So Dale's talking about his lazy loop casting.
My lazy loop. My loops are too tight. So you know, a lot of problems to work out. We're up there in Montana, and you know, there's no trees, just willows and some high grass. So you know, we work through those problems, and we go the next day to the Henry's Fork, Henry's Fork of the Snake, the Harriman State Park Railroad Ranch section. This is hallowed waters. I mean, you watch the fly fishing film tour festival, whatever. There's some just beautiful shots come out of there. Mm-hmm. Sorry, I'm burping upside down cake from Shannon. So that was good.
Did you eat the rum cake already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, and you know, in that place, and Bobby let me have first shot, and we stalked a fish, one fish for 45 minutes. We'd see him rise, and we'd take a step. See him rise, we'd take a step. Don't make a wake. Super flat water. There's more current than it looks. Looks like a lake. You know, got the cast out there, landed it. It was a good cast, thank God. And I said, Steve, I can't see the fly, dude. Guide standing right beside me. I was like, I can't see the fly. He's like, I got you. So I was like, okay, like I'll tell you when. So I see the fish rise. Don't know if it's my fly or not, but I hear Steve say, yes. Set the hook. There he is. So hooking the fish is one thing. Landing it is the next part, right? So all kinds of grass out there to fight the fish through. And Bobby, man, you're such a good dude. Sitting on the bank, recording this on video. So it's all on video. It's super cool. We may have to.
Is this the video I've seen?
I don't know if you've seen it or not. We may have to put it up.
There's like,
Never
I don't
mind.
know how many videos of him making a cast that wasn't to a fish. And then finally I got it. I mean, it was, yeah,
I
it's
get
one of
that,
those
scrubbing
story
through
of
all
my
that
life.
footage, yeah.
There's, 2.5 hours of footage for, 3 minutes.
No,
that
the
might be
video
the
I
name
saw,
of a book, all right.
No, the video I saw is from somewhere else,
Okay.
So,
undisclosed.
So yeah, we got the fish, and you know, in the words of Steve, that's Yankee Stadium, you know, and there's people that go up there and fish and never get one there. So and that was the only shot I got that day, and that I was totally okay with that. So Bobby had another shot later, but it didn't really even pan out to count as a shot, I feel like. And then we moved downstream and you got on some really nice ones. So
I've still yet to catch a fish in the state park. Caught them above it and below it. Never in it.
but just the scenes are just absolutely beautiful out there. And to catch a fish in that place, that's pretty spectacular. So yeah, I'd say that was my favorite fish at 22. So
Nice.
did some different fishing with surf fishing and some inshore stuff and near shore stuff.
If we'd have had a shot at an albacore,
that
and
would be
that would have trumped the.
it would have been cool because it was new,
Yeah,
right? But I don't know. The ranch is pretty special.
it is.
I love that place.
Yeah,
I love it out there.
It's pretty.
I like it a lot.
I like it.
Who wants to go next? Anybody? If y'all still need time to think, I can go.
You go. If it's hot on your mind, you go.
So mine's similar to the video you're talking about, but it's not a fish that we caught.
Hmm.
I didn't catch the fish,
Yeah.
but it's the most memorable fish. So we're going to an undisclosed location in Montana. Dale knows. It's the next day
That was
after
the video I
after
saw.
yeah. It's the next day after the ranch, and we're kind of. It's more of a Steve's guiding us, but he's kind of more just like hanging out and fishing too at the same time. We're just
He caught more fish than we did.
yeah, we're just having fun. So and it's fun to like watch somebody else work water, that knows the water better than you do. And so we go to this little tiny creek. I mean, it's not big. Like around here, every fish in it would probably be 6 or 8 inches. Like there wouldn't be many big fish in it. And so we're standing at the truck, and they're like, "Yeah, there's some good sized fish in here." And I'm like, "Okay, cool." And Steve
I've
says,
been here before. I know what game we're going to.
"Yeah."
But I'm like, Bobby, you're going to like it. Trust me.
And Steve says, "Yeah, I think I'm just going to take my smaller net." So he gets like a fish pond native net, which is, you can still put a big fish in it, but that's not the net you take when you're expecting big fish. And so I'm like, okay, so these are like 15 or 16-inch fish, right? So we go trudging through the brush, and then we go through the willow, and we're having to scream to make sure there's no moose in there, because, I mean, it is moosey as can be. Like,
Hey, Moose.
yeah. Steve's doing some, like, Canadian holler thing. Hey-oh! he's making it.
You got to put the A on the end of it.
So,
Hey, Moose, eh?
but so we get down there and we fished up a little bit, and we caught, I think, a couple, just good fish, 10, 12-inch fish. And it's like, all right, man, this is
Like
fun,
the warm-up fish.
yeah. And I mean, this is mostly the only time you get wet is when you're walking from hole to hole. So the rest of the time you're kind of just walking on sandbars and up on the edge of the bank and stuff. So we get this hole, and Steve's like, "Oh, that looks like a pretty good one right there. Throw at it." And I mean, it's like an incredibly hard cast. There's trees behind me, above me, out in front of me. There's a dead limb hanging in the water. You've got like an 18-inch space to put a fly in. And I can't. I couldn't get it in there. I think I got it hung up, and we actually got it to flip off. So then we moved up a few feet into the big pool that's there, and it's it's all like undercut banks. So like you can't really see how deep it is, but it's a deep hole. So I throw in there, and I think it drifted 1 or 2 times, and I didn't get anything. And then I threw a little further up, and it's a chubby, like Chernobyl, and it's drifting down, and you see this eat, and it's like a damn whale came up.
Yep.
I'm not lying. It's like a 25, 26-inch cutthroat. And that dead limb that was hanging out and that went into the water, he totally turned and went right into it and broke me off.
He knew where to go.
I mean, it was like a
Running his
3-second
cycle.
fight at most. But it's that whole thing of like, I didn't expect that fish. And then Dale threw in there. He hooked one with a streamer. It was like a little woolly bugger thing. And it did the same thing. It took him into it. So then Steve, with the lightest weight rod of all of us, by the way, throws in there and lands like a 25-inch cutthroat. Of course, I will say he saw the game, so he kind of knew what to do. So he had 2 shots to see, like, okay, that fish is going to go into that. I need to walk him up. But, man, that was a big fish. That was incredible. I was not
Steve,
expecting
man,
it.
you want a picture of that? Nah.
Yeah, he didn't
He wasn't
catch
even
it.
really
Tuesday.
impressed.
So we basically got a video of him catching it, and it's just in the net, and then we released it. But, yeah, there's no picture, a good shot of it, which is fine, because the memories there.
I was so excited for you to see that place.
That was crazy. I mean, literally, this creek was no wider than the fly tying area here. Like, it was less than this.
Mm-hmm.
It is crazy, those big fish. But I guess they're moving up from a lake or something and whatever. There's lakes out there everywhere.
Nah.
Yeah, there is.
Anyway,
So, there's big fish in there.
Where is it? I can tell you where there's a
it's
lake
in
close
Bend,
by.
Oregon.
It's over towards Bill. You go, like, towards Billings a little bit.
Yeah.
I tried.
Interstate.
Helena. It's up there.
It's right beside Interstate 90.
Okay, it's Garden of the Gods.
Right
Whatever.
beside Interstate 90.
Yeah. Land of the Giants. That's the name of it.
Yeah. That's fun if you've never done that, by the way. You get to take a nap as they go back upstream every time. You jet boat
crushed.
You jet boat upstream. You drifting fish.
Oh, man.
I laid down in the boat. He jet us back upstream.
Meanwhile,
fish,
your guide's
lay back
pounding
down.
monsters.
It was relaxing. I loved it.
That was the weirdest trip I think I've ever been on.
Yeah, those couple guides were crazy, but it's still fun. We caught a couple decent fish.
Get
on that.
crushed.
We didn't catch any of the big boys, but we caught. Anyways, that was my fish of the year, and I didn't even catch the fish. So
Yeah.
it was just cool to see something totally different from what I expected. So
Yeah.
all right, one of you boys.
I mean, just caught a fish. Let's see.
You gotta have something.
I'm
You took somebody, Braden, blah blah. Somebody caught a fish.
So we were getting ready to go back up for lunch. I was ahead of Ed and Steve.
Oh, so this is Montana too,
Yeah.
man.
This is your ditch pickle.
Yeah. If you
Ditch
want to
pickle.
call it that. I mean, but that's the type, that water always intrigues me, that type of water that you're talking about, and where this was a little channels that kind of broke off from it.
Yeah.
So I was
This
just,
was it a braid, right?
yeah, it kind of, yeah. Anyway, long story short, the Ed and Steve were working their way up river right, because they started off on river left, and I talked to Steve, why were they, you can hear, said over here and stuff, and he told me, when the sun gets at a certain angle, this is going to change and stuff. So they were making their way up in for lunch over there too, because we had the stuff in the drift boat up there, that was kind of just sitting over there on the edge of the bank. So we was making our way up, or I was making my way up to go up there and get ready. But I was kind of watching before I stepped foot. There was like six to eight. You just saw the top fins just and the tails just sticking out of the water.
Yeah.
The water.
I don't know if I've heard this story.
No more like 6 to 8 inches, 10 inches max deep in the deepest part. So I just kind of got down, real low on my knees and just.
You were belly crawling.
I was no, I would have, but just kind of laid it in, kind of curved that cast, and it just come up and just ate it. It was a decent fish until it come time to net the fish, and Steve had to come and net it. It was bigger than
well, the current there is pretty strong too, right?
No, this was just all.
It's pretty.
It was all out
of
of it. It's just real. That little soft, no flow there. It was just the fish was just that
big and strong.
And I had my centric 6-weight that we had the other day. And, oh yeah, it was there, and Steve had to come and. He had to come and do that and net it, of course. So
yeah,
and that too, the setting and where we was at, the history where we was at, also.
Well, I think that's the thing. We 3 of us have gone out of the 4 of us, and it's not here. Obviously, it's not in our backyard, but it's because we catch these fish all the time in our backyard. So it's cool to go do it in a different setting, maybe a different species, whatever. So, a lot of the folks out there probably that are listening are like, man, my favorite fish was from the Tuck this year. Which that's cool. Because
every time I go out there, people talk about like where they like to fish here.
Exactly. Yeah. It's what's not in your back. It's the same thing. Sure. Like you got a cool downtown that you live at, but you never go to it until you move away, and you go, man, I should have taken advantage of that. I should have went downtown and ate more, or whatever it is.
I probably spend less time fishing out there than most. I take a lot of photos.
Yeah.
That was the day I kind of fished the most, but I kind of, I take a lot of just photos, and even there, like that morning of Ed, I got a lot of stuff of him and Steve, but like the cabins that had, had floated and collapsed, and you went up to the cabin, you could see the bed frame and stuff in it, and it was like, you're in that area. That was, and then it wasn't that we caught a lot of fish, but we were making our way up the Gallatin. Right off the highway there.
Yeah.
And Ed and Marshall was on, they was on river left, and I was on river right making my way up, and you talk about moose and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Well, like everything is taller than me, and I've got bear spray, Ed's got bear spray, and Marshall's got 2 on here. And it's just the fact I wasn't concerned about catching a fish. It was like, what's behind me?
Yeah.
What's
watching me?
What's watching me there the entire time? That was more like a nervous energy. It doesn't help that before you get out there, God says, "Oh, this is one of the highest concentration of grizzly bears is in this particular area." Yeah. Anyway,
that's good.
Yep.
What about you, JP?
I've got a couple that come to mind, and I didn't catch either one of them. Well,
let's go.
One of them I blew my shot, just completely just killed it. But
yeah.
Well, the fish kind of didn't do his part either. But I guess the one that really was back in October when Matt and I went to Charleston, and he ended up catching like his first redfish that day, so it was great. But just rolling up on that flood in that flat during that flood tide, and we had like 14 or 16 fish just tailing.
Oh, really?
You just rolled up on that, and you just see tails just start popping, and it was just like a really. I don't know. It's just awesome. I love that.
Yeah, no.
I tell everybody if I couldn't trout fish for the rest of my life, I'd redfish. I love it. But another was my buddy Joe and his son, and 3 of us went fishing into the national park, and his son caught his first brook trout this summer.
Oh, yeah, I was over on Little River.
Yeah. Nunya Creek.
Nunya.
And it was like a 7-inch brook trout. It wasn't like a little fish, and it was like colored up and fired up and stuff, and he was excited about it. So it was a cool experience to see that.
Yeah, to see a kid catch that first, whether it's species or fish or whatever it is, it's pretty neat.
I was telling him, I'm like, B, man, this is awesome. He's like, I've never caught one of these before. I'm like, what?
That's
All the
fantastic.
times we'd
You
fish
took
together.
37 pictures of him all of a sudden, didn't you?
Yep.
Because you're like, oh, first one.
Oh, it's on video. It's
Yeah.
on our. It's on
There
our.
you go.
It's on our pages.
That's
on the Fly Shop
fantastic.
pages.
That's cool. That's cool.
I've never redfished. Like actually went. I've caught redfish, but I've never
Yeah, that's gonna change next year.
actively
You should
hunted.
do that.
That's gonna change next year.
Like, hey, we're going to catch redfish. I've
Yeah.
never done that.
You should do that.
Tell Carrie you need like 3 days, and
My
we'll go
fishing
do it.
trips are stacking up for next year.
You don't have. I mean, as far as
Don't worry about
access,
it. You make room.
it's quick access to get there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, where we're talking about going and Ben is
you go down to Charlotte. It's 3.5, 4 hours.
yeah.
It's fun.
No, I do want to do it.
it's different. I mean, at the end of the day, we've talked about everything that's different, like you said, because we get to do this here all the time. It's not that we take it for granted.
Yeah,
It's just something different, right?
Yeah,
At the end of the day, you know, Reed and Brave, we went to. I think it was back in September. We went over and we went to the backside of Lake Junaluska.
yeah.
And I took the fly rod, and he was at his bait caster, and I caught 5 different species on a fly
Yeah.
rod over there.
That's where I got my cart.
You know, I mean, and we were just, it's all perch. You couldn't get a perch,
yeah.
but Braden wanted to get a perch. But we just had just a fun time, and it was different than trout, right?
Yeah.
Because, you know, we do a lot
Just
of
something
trout.
fun to do,
It's
man.
just some, you know, and just,
Yep.
we always still kind of catch ourselves talking about that in casual.
It's just fun too to
Combo.
go out and not. We were talking about this earlier about don't make it so technical. Sometimes it's just fun just to be like,
Yeah.
just throw something in there and who cares what eats it.
Yeah, exactly, right?
As long as we get a fish,
Yeah.
it's like you don't have
Yeah.
to target it exactly.
Well, that's
So-
like we were there in October. I mean, the red fishing was kind of slowing down, but we were like kind of pulling through, and we saw like sheep's head and sea trout and all this other stuff. And you know, we were like throwing at those, trying to get
Yeah.
like a sheep's head or something to eat. You know,
Yeah.
too.
That is the fun part about saltwater is even if the game's not on that day, it's like, oh, we'll just go do this.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that here. It's trout and trout and trout, and then maybe smallmouth if it's the right season. But it's, you know, if the conditions for the area are tough,
Right.
it's going to be tough everywhere. Where at least in saltwater, it's like, oh, the redfish aren't tailing today. Well, let's go do this, you know. And it's like we're gonna 20-minute boat ride over here, and we can go.
We're gonna hit the bay and catch cruising fish,
Yeah,
like coming in
yeah.
out of the ocean. Yeah,
So I am a little jealous of those saltwater guys. And don't get me wrong, I understand, man. The saltwater game is tough. Conditions are tough. Weather's tough. It's hot, sticky. Fuel. It's expensive to run those. Like, totally have mad respect for this, but I'm a little jealous of the. As long as you got the right anglers. Some anglers are like, no, I'm here for this. This is all I want. But I think most of us are like, yeah, dude, let's go catch a fish.
Go get a
It don't
fish.
matter what it is.
well, it's like whenever you know we rolled up on that flat and all these fish are tailing. Like I'm just standing there, like and Matt's on the front of the boat, and I'm just like sitting there, just standing there. I mean, I was filming it, but at one point I looked up to Brian. I'm like, bro, you got like a spinning rod or something? Like I'll catch one of these other fish. He's like, y'all are fly guys. I didn't know y'all want to spin fish. I took the spinning rods out of the boat. I was like, I mean, I couldn't have cast a fly rod with Matt up there,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
could have flipped a
Yeah.
you know, paddle tail or something on a spinning rod and cranked one.
You'd
Probably.
have caught like 4 redfish, and he's still casting.
Yeah. Yep.
So we kind of talked about the Montana, and it seemed like the fish out there. It's time to bring it up about the hosted trip out there next year.
Yeah,
probably
man.
still a few dates open on that potentially, I guess.
Yeah,
Not
there's
for
still
sure.
there's still a few spots left. So if anybody wants it, what's the dates? 13th through the 19th, I
Yes.
think, of August.
Yep.
As Dale keeps saying, he keeps saying October. August.
It's the phonetics.
Oh,
August 13th through 19th, 2023. So
August.
If you want more info, you can go to the website or you can call us. Whatever's easier, we can make it happen.
Yep.
And Justin wants you to call Waynesville so he gets to book it
That's right.
because we got it out there.
That's right.
There's 2
I've got
hosts
two.
this year.
I've got 2 people signed up.
Is Ed Cagle don't count?
Why?
He went last year.
But he only told me that he was going to go if I go. So that's got to count for something.
So we've basically told a lot of the guides, whoever books the most people gets to be the second person as the host because there's 2 hosts.
y'all
So,
have fun.
It's going to be.
So yeah, it's like a little
Y'all have
competition.
fun.
It's good.
Yep.
It's good. So I mean, I hope you get them all.
I'll sandbag
If
it.
Matt was sitting there, I'd be like, man, I hope you get them all.
I'll sandbag at the end. I'll have 4 people call me there. Hey man, let's go. I just mess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool stuff on the horizon for 2023.
Yeah,
I'll shoot you $50 if you send their name to me.
Finder's fee.
Yeah.
I might-
Send them contacts on over.
Cash in fist, baby. Oh man. So yeah, that's the other thing too. You know, 2023 new things that you guys. We talked about product, but other than that, there's some other stuff in the works too.
Yeah, me and Dale are really pushing the destination stuff hard. So we are investigating, I don't know, 4 or 5 different things.
Probably send down the pipe for customers there in 24. So, but we want to scout it out and make sure it's, Bobby and I, like we said at the party the other night, we're picky. You know, like we want things just right. And Big Sky Anglers, they do an amazing job with Golden Stone Inn of fitting that bill. But before we, put our name behind something, we want to make sure it's up to our standards of what we want to expect for customers. So put our name behind it.
And at least be able to tell them about it,
Sure.
Like when they say, what's the room like that I'm going to stay in? You have an idea.
I don't know. They said manger. You might be sleeping.
Are
in
you
the barn.
allergic to hay?
Back in 2020, we were originally going to go to Argentina. Hindsight, it was right as the pandemic was starting.
Yes.
They locked down Argentina like 3 weeks before we were going to fly down there. But we were kind of going just to scope it out. But it was totally like, yeah, you might be sleeping on the floor at Justin's house, or you might be sleeping in the barn with the gauchos. And I'm like, man, we gonna roughing this. Like, this is kind of cool. Like some Nat Geo stuff. I like it.
I don't think this time it's going to be. It looks like we're getting to stay in the beds.
I think we'll have feathers on the.
Yeah, we'll have something.
I remember that
sheets
planning
covering
of
the
that
head.
trip. Now you guys had airline tickets too, right?
Yeah.
Still do.
You know what? We use that credit for this year's.
So you're
We're
headed
going
down
to the end of March.
Okay.
We're going.
All right. So I did not know that. All right.
I have an amazing wife. We were wrapping that trip up on our 16th anniversary. So, I love you, Stacy.
Ah, boy.
Oh,
You are,
man.
Dale. Oh man,
That's
that's
all
cool.
good.
That's cool. I think folks, let us know in the comment section on YouTube. Maybe some trips that we may not know about, or maybe where you're at, you're listening. You could be, and you could have some amazing fishery that we don't know about. That let us know.
Yeah.
We might check into them, take a look, see, and give us some ideas.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, do we want to spill the beans on stuff that we're investigating?
I think so.
Yeah.
Spill the beans.
So we got the Argentina thing.
All right.
We're going to check that out. We went down to check out Albie, and we honestly didn't give the albacore off of North Carolina a fair shot. We only had one day to really spend doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And, conditions have got to be right, and the fish have to be, busting the top water and stuff like that. If you want to see what it looks like, go on YouTube. I'm sure there's tons of videos of what it looks like. So we only saw like 2 or 3 albacore for like less than 5 seconds. So we didn't even really get a shot.
Mm-hmm.
We caught other fish. It was that whole game I was just talking about. Hey, there's always something else you can do in saltwater probably and go catch something. If you cut some bait and throw it out there, you're probably going to catch a shark. I mean, that's how saltwater is, right? So we didn't give that a fair shot. So, but I think it can be a good trip, like just going down there and doing it and the fun of being out on a boat and all that. And then we're gonna investigate the striper off of North Carolina there too, or in some of the river systems of the
Okay.
coastal tidal section of North Carolina.
And these are 2 fisheries that I think are overlooked and kind of flying under the radar. For
Yeah,
sure.
and it's good for most of our customer base is regional. Not all. Some people come in from Texas or the upper Northeast, or we get folks from California, all that stuff. But the majority of them are probably regional, right? They drive to us. Most people aren't necessarily flying to come here and fish all the time. So the beauty of those coastal stuff is a lot of that's going to be drivable for folks. They're not going to have to do an airline, so it's easier for them to bring, more gear or whatnot, for the occasion. Of course, being on a boat, you're not going to probably have waders and boots on unless it's like dumping rain or something. But
Grundon's bibs.
Grundon's bibs are great. Me and Dale tested some, just so you know. But those are two fisheries that could be really cool, really fun. We actually had a podcast with the gentleman we're going to check out the striper stuff with, Richard
Andrews.
Tarpam Guides, guide service, I guess is what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And he's out there near Bath, North Carolina and everything. So we still got to catch up with him and go do that just to check that one out. And the fishing on a lot of these trips is the easy part. It's more the lodging and the food. How to coordinate that and not be so far away with the lodging that takes forever to get to where you're fishing and stuff like that. So,
some of that Eastern North Carolina stuff is as remote as Montana.
Yeah, it's a
And
long way from stuff.
If you're in a beach town and it's the off season,
A lot of stuff
everything's
shut off,
closed.
and a lot of these fishing opportunities are in the off season. So not everything's 9 to 5, or restaurants aren't always open till 11 o'clock at night type thing.
You get off the water at 8 o'clock, you ain't getting no dinner.
Yeah,
Sounds like you need a camp chef.
a camp.
He needs a cookie.
I know
A grill
guy.
master.
He needs a cookie.
I know a
It's like,
guy.
you talking about the freeze dried packs
Yeah.
that you just
Yeah.
add water?
Yep. Heat them up.
Some
Right.
mountain. What's
Or
it
are you
called?
talking about? Oh, you're talking about you.
No, I wasn't even talking about me. His name's
But-
Jason Ellsworth.
But
He's the
now that
best.
now that he's mentioned it,
Yeah, but now since you're here,
slide me to 50 now.
yeah. You got Venmo?
So, and then the last one we're just starting to look at. So this is fresh. It's not even close to planning, but it's beautiful. Is Slovenia.
Slovenia.
Yeah, so doing some European stuff. And if you don't know where that's at, go look on the map. It's near Venice, Italy. Not far from
European.
it.
And then is this the one that Anthony?
Yes.
All right, so he's throwing all this stuff out to you that morning, right?
Mhm.
So I find some YouTube. I'm doing some research, international research on fishing, right? Growing my mind.
Yeah.
Holy moly, Batman! That was impressive.
Well,
It's not as close to Russia as it sounds either.
No,
No, it's not.
No, I'm not.
It's right beside it. The river actually flows into Italy.
Oh my gosh,
That would
man!
be
That
fishing.
borders the
and
Aegean
it,
Sea.
the water that he was talking about stuff. I was like, oh my!
It's beautiful.
Oh man, it is gorgeous.
And it's grayling, it's
Cool.
rainbows, it's brown,
It's dude,
and it's marble trout.
It's gorgeous, man.
That looks
It's marvelous.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
The,
So-
the
That
looks great.
clarity of that water and stuff was just beautiful.
So yeah, that's one we've got to. So all this, like Dale said, we're picky. We want to make sure that we can describe it, that we can tell you about it, so that you understand what you're getting yourself into. Not every destination trip's for every person.
Sure.
So we want to make sure that if you're spending, a good amount of money on something, that you understand what it is, so that you're not getting there and being disappointed.
Right.
Because that makes everybody in the trip feels that disappointment.
Sure.
When you do that. Other guests feel it, the host feels it, the guides feel it. So we want you to be like, man, this is cool, this is awesome. Man, love the food, love the accommodations, the fishing's been excellent, all that stuff. The scenery, which almost everywhere we go fish, the scenery is going to be good. So that's an easy sell. But those are the ones we're looking into right now. So some different stuff. The Slovenia, going to Europe, is one that's something that I don't know a lot of people that do that. So maybe it is, and I just haven't investigated a lot of
So
destinations.
much of Europe is locked up.
Yes, it's a
private,
lot
the
of private
clubs.
stuff. So this is something where one of our guides, Anthony, he was in the military and stationed in Germany, so he knows that area really well because he spent time in all those countries. I didn't realize he got a fishing license when he was over there, and he's got a German fishing license for life.
Oh wow!
I did not know that.
He said it's a process.
Yeah.
He said if you're just traveling for a week, it's not even worth trying. He said, but he was there for 10 years, so he got one, and he gets it for life. So it's like that's pretty cool. So, so that's the hard part about Europe is a lot of that stuff is locked down. You got to be members of clubs. You got to put so many days in of work at the club to keep it's even harder to be a member at a golf club here. You know how you got to pay a ton of money up front to be it, and then you pay your dues and all that. Like they actually want you to come out and do work days at a lot of these clubs. The golf courses here don't make you do that. They got a maintenance crew that does all that. Right?
Like a hunting lease, then.
Yeah, it's
I
more like a
respect
hunting
it, though.
lease.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, so
like
it's totally like so. That's where it's like it's kind of cool to maybe have an inn to do something like this, and have lodging, have food that's somewhat close to it. So yeah, I'm excited to check it out. Hopefully, we can make it out there this year and check it out. At least one of us. It all just comes down to timing and everything. So, and it's a long flight from here.
Need your
obviously.
media guy so you have good photo and video content for that.
Get you some credentials.
So
Yeah.
so with it being in Europe, when is like the best time for that to happen?
Or
do we-
It
do we
seems
know?
to be a summer.
It
thing.
seems like it'd be a summer game,
Okay.
kind of.
right.
Those are high elevation mountains, so
Okay.
I'm sure during the winter it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
So it's probably more like a Montana.
So it could be like that July-ish.
I'd say
August
June,
time.
July,
Okay,
August
so August
time frame.
timeframe.
So
Okay.
yeah, we'll see
All right.
what it fits the bill and.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so that's one that's checking out. Again, that'll probably be if we can do it and it's offered. It'd probably be 24 before we offered it.
Sure.
But,
Yeah. Makes perfect sense.
yeah. So that's kind of what we got there.
Nice.
But it's nothing. I wish we had them all set up right now where we could just like Montana be like, hey, we got these dates. Do you everybody want it? But we want to make sure that it's the right fit for us and clients. So
Right.
Crawl before you walk.
That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So yeah, go look at the map, check out where that's at, because I'd heard of it, and I got them confused. Slovakia and Slovenia.
Yeah.
Slovakia is
Czech
just
Republic.
below Poland.
Yeah.
Slovenia's down by Italy and Croatia and Hungary and all that stuff. So
Yeah.
a little further south than that stuff. So now I know where exactly it's at. Yeah. Europe's tough, man. There's all
Yes.
these countries.
Yes.
Mhm.
Europe and Africa. It's like I know the country. It's like you say it, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a country. But I couldn't like look at the map and
Yes.
just
We think about
some countries.
just in our lifetime, how many times that European map's been redrawn?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So-
it's especially Eastern Europe.
Yes.
Europe is the tough one. Western Europe, I think most people kind of because that one's been fairly solidified for a long time. So it also helped that I did my senior paper on Luxembourg. So it's a tiny little country.
Yeah.
It's really small.
Like the size of Rhode Island.
No, it's smaller than
I
that.
think it might be smaller.
Really?
I can't
Yeah.
remember.
It's like the size.
I did the paper, but I can't tell you.
It was
Come
on
on,
the
man.
it was on the
Smaller than
Amazing
Atlanta.
Race.
Yeah, I
It
knew
is
it was small. I didn't
tiny,
know how
man.
tiny it was. Yeah,
It was on the Amazing Race.
Was it?
That's how,
Luxembourg
yeah.
was it?
Luxembourg was
city
one time.
state.
They had to do something there at
you
Luxembourg.
drive from one to the other.
Yeah.
Like an
Yeah.
hour.
Yeah,
Ah, it's
30 minutes. You're
Oh, I
across
gotta pull it up
across
now.
the country.
So
I'm sure they have traffic, Dale. Probably an hour.
That's it. They got traffic.
I don't know. Traffic. Meet me.
Europe's pretty good.
so
with public transit.
That's true.
shows for 2023 is any
Oh, we got
information.
Cincinnati. We're gonna be at.
Yeah.
that's the only one we're scheduled for. Is Cincinnati. So, what is that? I think that's the first weekend in February. I don't remember the day. I want to say it's like the third or fourth,
third or fourth,
something
yeah.
like that.
First Saturday. It's
Yeah.
just a 1 day. deal.
Saturday is the 4th.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So there you go.
Always the weekend before the Super Bowl.
Did he walk out? Sammy was in here.
Was he?
Oh,
Yeah.
Sammy.
Hey, Sammy.
Hey, Sammy.
Is he still in
Hey,
here?
there he is.
He's hiding down there.
Man,
You want to be on the podcast?
You were camoed, man.
You want to come tell us what you do? Is Earl coming? Is that the reason the rain's here?
No.
Sammy from Alabama is in the house.
Roll Tide.
Roll. Are you an Alabama fan? Okay.
Yeah, they
Okay.
are.
I want to make sure he wasn't an
yes.
Auburn fan. You
I
never
still
know.
tell them Roll Tide.
Oh, Lordy.
But anyways, I think we kind of reached the point to maybe talk about fishing report.
there.
I
It's
think
going to get chilly.
I was going to say the biggest thing to keep in mind is we do have this cold weather that's coming in, and it's going to come in, I don't want to say with a vengeance, but it's
Yeah.
looking like some lows in the teens next week and some highs in the low 30s.
They had some snow in the forecast, and that's dwindled out.
Yeah.
Like right before Christmas, it looked like we might have some
It
snow on the
might
ground.
have a
but
little
now
bit.
I don't know.
I saw some coming in Friday.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
Don't know.
I mean, it's December. We're getting to be,
I want to snow.
let's say, mid to late December. It's the weather we should be having, honestly.
Yeah.
We the other day the water temperature warmed up about 10 degrees. Now it's kind of back down again. It's been a roller coaster here lately
Yeah.
with that, and that can have a negative effect on what the fish are doing,
Yeah.
how they're reacting, and you try to keep it simple. We talk about being too technical sometimes, but sometimes the old mop fly out there is
Just gets it done.
just throw a mop fly or
Yep.
or a woolly booger type pattern.
Yeah.
And not overcomplicate it. Sometimes you'll get those bigger fish eating something stupid.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
have the place to yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
You know-
Christmas week, it might be a little busier.
typically is.
Just more people are up here and stuff, but
This is the time of year that we get. This time of year, I like the upper Nantahala.
yeah.
Just not as many people. It's
Yeah.
colder because it's shaded so much, but you can get up there and
But next week, I bet there won't be many people fishing. It's the week right before Christmas.
yeah. I mean, the
I
week
could
of Christmas. I mean,
I could see it.
Book it.
I could see it
Book
being
it.
pretty good.
Uh-huh.
But
Come
you are
book
going
a
to have
trip.
that roller coaster.
Yeah.
Every day is probably going to be different depending on what the nighttime
Yeah.
temp was.
absolutely.
So,
Yep.
there's no reason to run out there first thing in the morning because
No, not when it's that temperature.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold.
No.
Drink
Wait.
that coffee, warm up, let the sun hit the water a little bit, then go
That's
fish.
Hand warmers, toe warmers, towels, and extra change of clothes.
Yep.
Just in
Definitely.
case, man.
Definitely.
Just to be
Fall
sure.
down.
Just to make it good. Well, 2022 was good.
Yes, sir.
It was a fun year. Not too many battles, which is good, at least for us. You know, it was just I'd say
no
the biggest.
pandemics.
I'd say the biggest battle was still, just getting certain products. So
Yeah.
looks like that's easing off a little bit. 2023 will tell the tale.
New web store for 22.
Yeah.
So check out flyshopUSA.com.
Flyfish USA.
I said the wrong thing yesterday in one of those YouTube videos we filmed.
Did you really?
Yeah. Justin said he was going to make it happen. He's going to fix it.
FlyshopUSA.com.
But
Yeah,
That's-
new
that's-
hires
that's
for
a great-
22 have been pretty good.
Yeah, decent.
Yeah, they're all right. Mediocre, right?
Justin. couple,
Yeah.
It's,
You win
but-
some, you lose some.
Yeah, I mean the staff grew.
dude.
So
Yep.
Yep.
grew quite a bit. But no, we certainly all the customers that come in, and even if you just buy one fly, it means something. So
Absolutely
sure.
does. Yeah, so we want everybody to have a great holiday, good Christmas, good New Year. Stay safe, be smart. I know everybody's going to holiday parties and all that good stuff, but be smart driving, going back home, those type of things.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see everybody's face next year coming up here smiling and catching some fish. So, anybody else got anything?
Merry Christmas.
Merry
All
Christmas.
hearts and minds clear.
That's it. All right. We'll catch y'all next.
That wraps up another exciting and informative episode of the Tuckcast with a Splash of Bourbon, presented by Tuckasegee Fly Shop and Guide Service, located at 3 Depot Street, Bryson City, North Carolina, and 530 West Main Street, Sylvan, North Carolina.
In Waynesville.
Be sure to visit www.tuckflyshop.com for streamflow information, book a guided trip, or even shop for your favorite Tuckasegee Fly Shop gear. Follow the crew on Facebook at Tuckasegee Fly Shop, Instagram at Tuck Fly Shop, and on YouTube at Tuckasegee Fly Shop. If you have a question or comment, feel free to send those to info@tuckflyshop.com or give us a call, 1-828-488-3333. For Coach Dale Diesel Collins, Bobby the Bearded Wonder Bennet, I'm Shannon, Big Mess Messer. We'll catch you next week. Be sure to catch a few fish out there, won't you? Y'all take care.